Welcome to our group's presentation about the recommendation videos. This is our group's members detail. So let's go to the first part. The first part is recommendation 1 about building trust through ethical and sustainable employer practice. And the next part is definite description. The first definition is ethical sourcing. The next one is employer support. The last one is career benefits. These 3 definitions are in order to enhance employers' trust in BESKY. The company adopts a sustainable management approach to release good social responsibility. For example, private employers with fair treatment and career development opportunities, and plan employer training and create a better working environment. And the next part is what's the next? This is have the 5 steps for BESKY supermarket. The first one is follow for place and ethical practice. The second one is providing for treatment and building employer trust. So what have these 2 steps? Basics has been exempt of neglecting the welfare of these employers and often resisting to cost-cutting behavior. This behavior have led to underenrollment and inadequate staff training, which have affected the quality of the service. So we have the third step is training employers on sustainability practice, and the next step is service employer satisfaction and provides career development opportunities. The last one is building social responsibility and increasing productivity. And the next part is potential problems. The first potential problems is cost challenge about the private career development opportunity and training employers. And the second one is employer exempts. The last one is employer trust. I think this will be talked together because it will connect. If a company improves employer exempts, it will sure get their trust. The next part is recommended solutions about the potential problems. The first is phased implementations for the cost challenge. And the next one is employer environment for the employer exempts. The last one is consistency in actions. The second part and the last part is connected, so it must to use it together.
In this part, I will talk about who in charge of carrying out each task. The first one, the leadership team. The leadership team is responsible for applying boundaries for training and development, ensuring the resources align with strategic goals. And the second one is the human resources department. For the human resource department, need to task with design and delivering employee development and training programs to enhance their skills and engagement. Last one is the financial team. Financial team need to allocate bondage and monitor cost efficiency. The next part is the timeline and location of task completion. For the short-term goals. In short-term goals, we will start with launch employee feedback surveys. Is to identify employee needs and changes. This will provide data to design and training and welfare programs. And for the next part is medium-term goals. In the medium-term goals, we will implement employee training programs focusing on skill development, fair workplace practice, and customer engagement. The last one is the long-term goals. The long-term goals, we will roll out career development opportunities to target regions with higher employee turnover to ensure incredible opportunities and reduce attrition. Next part, we will talk about the cost. The first one is the time cost. The time required to plan, implement, and monitor new initiatives such as training programs and career development pathway. And next one is the opportunity cost. The potential loss of productivity or source while employees are attending training or feedback sessions. The next one is the resource cost. Non-monetary resources such as materials, facilities, or tools needed for training and workshops. The last one is the repetition cost. The reputational impact of not meeting immediate expectations during the transition.
Recommendation 2 is enhancing customer loyalty and CSR through feedback loops. In order to address the issue of declining customer satisfaction, BESKY can establish a customer feedback loop to collect and respond to consumer feedback in order to improve service quality and rebuild customer loyalty. We can divide it into 4 parts. The first part is customer feedback loop, a process for gathering, evaluating, and reacting to client comments in order to find operational defects and raise the standard of services, so raising customer loyalty and satisfaction. The second part is called corporate social responsibility, adopting transparent and sustainable strategies to meet stakeholders' expectations enables businesses to take responsibility for their social and environmental impact while focusing on profit. The third part is called customer engagement, creating relationships and open lines of contact while consumers help to make them feel appreciated and heard, so boosting their involvement and confidence in the business. The fourth part is called brand loyalty, consumers' consistent preference and support for a brand, which is fostered by excellent service, confidence, and matching consumer expectations. The first step is called set the target and select the tool. As the first steps, we can establish the objectives of the feedback loop and choose suitable methods such as surveys or apps for gathering customer insights. And the second step is called do the preliminary work well. We can set up feedback systems, educate employees to promote involvement, and use data analysis tools to handle feedback. The third part is setting the pilot. We can evaluate the feedback process in chosen areas, collect initial insights, and enhance the system according to the outcomes of the trials. And the fourth step is called launch and promote. We can apply the feedback system in every location. The fifth step is called analyze and serve. We can gather and sort the big feedback, then tackle important concerns with specific enhancements in operations, staffing, or services. The last step is called monitor and improve. We can keep a close eye on how well the changes are working, address feedback systems when necessary, and communicate the outcomes with everyone involved. The marketing team will be in charge of carrying out the first task. They will establish goals and identify feedback mechanisms that connect with customer interaction approaches. And the HR and training team will be in charge of carrying out the second task. They will train staff on ways to motivate customers to engage and manage feedback with integrity. And the data analysis will be in charge of carrying out the third task. They will assess the early responses and identify trends or opportunities for enhancement all over the trial period. The marketing team will also be in charge of carrying out the fourth step. They will create promotional elements such as signage and announcements to encourage customer participation. And for the fifth task, the senior management will be in charge of it. They will approve important operational changes and guarantee consistency with the overall business plan. Last but not least, customer experience manager.
Key personnel involved includes the customer service team for collecting feedback, management for analysis and strategic decisions, staff for implementing changes, the IT department for system setup and maintenance, and the marketing team for communicating changes to customers. Next is the timeline and locations. In short term, the feedback system will be set up across all BESKY supermarket locations. This includes installing feedback collection tools and training initial staff. In the medium term, feedback will be collected and analyzed at the headquarters. This phase involves gathering customer feedback, analyzing data, and developing action plans. Lastly, in the long term, the necessary changes will be implemented across all stores, the impact on customer satisfaction will be monitored, and feedback collection will continue for ongoing improvements. The last one is cost. Types of costs include setup costs for the feedback system, operational costs for ongoing feedback collection and analysis, training costs for staff, and marketing costs to communicate changes to customers. These investments are essential for improving customer satisfaction and loyalty. In conclusion, by addressing customer feedback promptly and effectively, service quality can be improved, customer loyalty can be rebuilt, and the company's commitment to corporate social responsibility can be demonstrated. Thank you for listening.